Cracker Barrel has long been known for its rocking chairs, biscuit breakfast, and old-timey charm. But its recent rebrand stirred up something more than just opinions. The updated logo sparked backlash from longtime fans, drew criticism from President Trump, and even triggered a sharp drop in company stock. So why do people react so strongly when a company tweaks its look? And why do brands with decades of recognition decide to change at all? Barbara Stewart is a professor of retail and consumer science at the University of Houston, joins us to talk about the emotional power of branding, the risks of going modern, and whether there's more to these redesigns than meets the eye. Barbara, welcome to Hello Houston.
Thank you very much.
And if you would like to join the conversation, you can give us a call or send us a text at 713-440-8870.
It seems to be food that really comforts us in rebranding of food. I mean, cars change styles. McDonald's does not change their arches. What's your take, Barbara, on all of this?
Well, there are some iconic things that are important to consumers, things they've grown to love over decades. The Cracker Barrel icon, for example, it's 55 years old.
I didn't even know that. I didn't
really
even know
liked
Uncle
Cracker
Herschel. Is that his name?
Uncle Herschel.
I didn't even know that he had a name.
He has a name. He was named after the uncle of the founder, Dale.
Yeah. Okay, so Uncle Herschel obviously just sat around on a barrel.
He did. He kind of leans on it.
Probably
leans
waited
on
for
it.
Aunt Mary to bring him biscuits, is my guess.
I didn't even realize people loved Cracker Barrel that much. I mean, I feel like it's kind of not like a super known.
It's kind of an after-church place for Sunday, isn't it? People
Well,
love to go there after church.
Or if you're traveling, I feel like
traveling
also
stop.
it's a traveling
Oh, yeah.
stop.
But since they're in 43 different states, that traveling part is really important. They can find Cracker Barrel along the road, anywhere they might be riding. And we build loyalty based on experience, consistent, good experiences. And Cracker Barrel through the years has done that.
Right.
In addition, we build loyalty because we have an emotional tie. We might remember something that happened at a Cracker Barrel, a conversation we had that warmed our hearts, a lunch with grandchild, something that is familiar.
But, I've got to say, I understand the loyalty and the comfort and the consistency. But what I don't understand is when a logo is changed, why that causes such a stir within somebody.
The logo was part of a larger rebranding. Cracker Barrel spent $700 million on a rebranding attempt.
$700 million.
Amazing, isn't it? And the logo is part of it. The logo they proposed was very sleek. Uncle Herschel and his Cracker Barrel were not there.
Herschel, you're out.
The lettering was much sleeker. And
What is a Cracker Barrel?
well, a Cracker Barrel is before we bought all of our crackers and various products in various cello or paper packaging, the barrel sat in the general store and you scooped out your portion of crackers.
Really?
Right.
That's really sanitary, isn't
General
it?
store, days gone by.
Well, don't you think that a lot of these places like Buc-ee's, Buc-ee's has the beaver and Whataburger, I mean, these food places and these traveling places, they do bring sort of an oasis in the desert to us all. So you are traveling, and it's like, oh, finally, a Cracker Barrel. And so that is a more emotional connection than like Ford deciding to rebrand the Taurus or something.
That's right. It's a people connection and a people to the store. And that idea of stopping along the road. Cracker Barrel has historically had a lot of merchandise that you wandered through while maybe you waited in line for your table to be ready.
They have like a little country store.
Little country store. You might not need any of it, but you probably buy some of it.
Totally. And so, quick question for you, Barbara. Cracker Barrel is not the first one to do this and have this type of outreach. What are some other brands that we have seen in the past that have had this type of situation?
Almost any long-term brand has had some kind of rebranding in the past. Walmart has, Target has, beers have notably had some debacles.
Foods.
That's right.
Uncle Ben rebranded.
Correct.
And Aunt Jemima rebranded. Betty Crocker.
Absolutely.
Again, those foods didn't seem to get the blowback that Cracker Barrel did.
Well, and some of them did, and some of our memory has faded. What's happened here is we're on a world of social media. So the change just gets blown out of proportion, or blown up if you like the uproar. So social media has made a big difference.
We do have this text, by the way, and it says, Barbara Stewart, I graduated from U of H in 1994. Some people called what Cracker Barrel tried to do was wokeification. That might have been part of the problem. What do you think about that?
That may be. There were some things posted on the Cracker Barrel website that led to that belief, and I do believe that some of the backlash was from that.
Well, I don't know if you remember John and Katie, but he was the one, right? You were his professor in the early 90s, proud consumer science and merchandising graduate. So.
Well, I love it.
And
Thank you very much.
I really enjoyed her class. That's John and Katie.
That's kind.
But I look at this and I think to myself, okay, it's blown out of proportion, but Cracker Barrel saw an absolute drop in stock. So talk to us about how the connection between, okay, you changed your logo, and now I'm not going to go eat there anymore.
That's right. They dropped $100 million when they announced the logo change and the
Yikes.
rebranding. Now, it has since come back up.
Right. Okay, so it's gone back up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it really would have affected them? I mean, at the end of the day, people still loved Cracker Barrel and would have gone, don't you think? I mean,
they may even benefit from all of this buzz, because now you and I are thinking, 40 of their stores have been rebranded. They're now sleek and clean. I want to see one of those.
I want to see what's going on.
We may step back into a Cracker Barrel, experience their new menu, and be delighted. It's just that transition. So a wiser approach might have been incremental change, smaller change that might have captivated a new market. Cracker Barrel has a demographic that's tried and true, but it's an aging demographic. And so they, like all other businesses, need to keep getting new customers.
And that's what I say. Dr. Stewart, how important is it for businesses, especially ones that have a legacy, a brand, to rebrand?
Oh, it's extremely important for them to either do it in a revolutionary or an evolutionary way. If they don't, they will fade with the times.
How much do you think that Trump coming out and making his comments played into this?
Well, led fire to the social media flow, and I think it did add to the
Do you think he's
hype.
ever been to a Cracker Barrel?
Oh, I bet he has. They're in 43 states. They've had 660 stores, and I believe he probably has.
We did receive a text that says Cracker Barrel did their best to turn themselves into, quote, just another IHOP. CEO needs to go. I'll try them one more time. The food better be good. And that's from Richard. And we have another YouTube comment. Denise Ulrich, the wine goddess of Texas, says, Land O'Lakes butter certainly got some negative feedback. It's all pretty silly, really. That's right, Land O'Lakes. So there's other brands. Is it all, I know we've talked about this, but all tied to food?
Or beer.
Beer.
Yeah, food and beverages. We feel food is near to our heart. It's part of our everyday life. We consume it consistently. And we consume food for more reasons than just to fill our nutritional needs. We go to restaurants, for example. We buy butter even. Social reasons. You go to a restaurant for a social reason. You go for an experience. You go to get out of the house or the office. You go for stimulation, and that is all the senses: sound, taste, touch, and sight. And so these things, particularly in restaurants and food products, are really important.
Change is hard, but Dr. Stewart, if you were consulting with Cracker Barrel, what would you have had them do differently?
I would have liked to have seen their research before they spent all this money on the rollout. It would be interesting to see whether they used focus groups, and if they did, Now, there are some reports that they did do research with their own employees and with customers. I would, from a researcher's point of view, want to make sure that they were doing that broad-based across their clientele.
You know, they changed their menu and the look and all of that. You wonder if at some point somebody said, you know, let's get rid of the old guy while we're at it. You know, and it was like the last afterthought of this whole rebrand.
But it doesn't sound like it was an afterthought at all. I mean, $700 million. It sounds like they were very intentional.
The menus and all of that is part of that $700 million. The inside it wasn't just taking off. It didn't cost $700 million to take Uncle Herschel off the logo. But you wonder if in all of this they said, look, we're too sleek now. The old guy's got to go. His following is starting to age out of the consumer business. They're on Jell-O now. And so we're going to get rid of them. And then that's what screwed them up.
That's right. Uncle Herschel is back. He's back on the logo.
And he's better than ever.
And that's the wisdom of marrying the old,
Let
the
me
love.
ask you, I have a personal question. Yeah. So when I was at Channel 2, they started a bit of a rebrand, and they took my face off of the weather app. But... And I'm going to get to my point. It's not about me.
Okay.
But our research had shown that if you put a familiar face on an app, people are more likely to download it than if you put just the number 2 or whatever. And so they replaced it with a team of faces, right? But Uncle Herschel's a face. You know, Aunt Jemima's a face. Betty Crocker's a face. All these. So how important is the face to the brand as opposed to just the colors, the name, the catchy logo?
Very important. We are human individuals. We are social individuals, and so we connect. If you have, studies have showed, for example, if you have a wall of images and one of them is a face, you will immediately be drawn to the eyes, nose, mouth region of that image.
That was my point. Why did they take my face off? Okay, now it is personal.
Well, you're listening to Hello Houston. We are speaking with Barbara Stewart, professor of retail and consumer science at the University of Houston, about the Cracker Barrel rebrand and why companies face backlash when they go modern. If you would like to join the conversation, you can give us a call or send us a text, 713-440-8870.
So Colby from Katy has a text that said, it seems the term woke now applies to brands that attempt to broaden their target markets. It is a little broad brushing. Oh, everything's woke. You know, is that true? Is everyone trying to be woke or not woke?
There may have been an element of that in this rebranding, but I don't think that's the major theme. I think that is a side parcel that became popularized through social media.
Okay, to Celeste's question. So you're the consultant. You want to see their research. Their research says you're looking a little tired and frayed. From that,
Uncle Herschel's looking a little tired.
Let's assume somebody said that. You know, we're the same butter. Same Land O'Lakes rebrand butter. So where do you go from there? If they're going to do something, what would you have said? Okay, do this, but not that.
Well, they have attempted to do some of that. They have, for example, said we're going to still have antiques on our walls. So they're sleek white walls, but they still have antiques on them. So some of that has happened. You have to figure out how to retain what's loved and cared about and symbolic for the institution and marry that, which is new, innovative, and more likely to capture new customers.
Well, you and I both grow up with, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why is everybody trying to fix stuff?
Well, actually, in Cracker Barrel, they did need fixing. Their foot traffic was down 16% over the last 5 years. And so that's good reason to think seriously about who you are and who you're attracting.
So from a business perspective, like you said, I mean, this backlash essentially could spike up their foot traffic.
It absolutely could.
Yeah.
I'm going to look inside the next Cracker Barrel I drive by.
Barbara Stewart is a professor of retail and consumer science at the University of Houston. Barbara, thank you again for joining us on Hello Houston.
Thank you.
And your students love you.
Your students
I love
you.
it. I love to hear from my students.
Come on.